Good day, everyone. In this unit, we will learn about another national award for artists who engage in particular disciplinary areas such as visual art. In this lesson, we will look more closely in the works of these artists, especially in the terms of collaboration and exchange. As we view the National Artist Award in the spirit of public sphere, to whom artists and award-giving bodies are held accountable.
Lesson 1, Understanding the National Artist Award. So what is NAA or National Artist Award? It is the highest award-giving body in the Philippine art scene. Also, it is the highest form of recognition to the Filipino artists or the Filipino individuals who has an outstanding contribution in the Philippine arts and letters. Tigawad ng Manilikha ng Bayan or Digamaba and the National Scientist Award, they share the same prestige as the National Artist Award. Every 3 years, this award is granted through a rigorous deliberation, which means that it is a strict process of thoughtfully weighing options, usually prior to voting. They also undergo a selection process that are facilitated by the two major cultural offices, the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and the Cultural Center of the Philippines. The National Artist Award was established in 1972 under the Presidential Decree number 1001 issued by the President Ferdinand Marcos. The first recipient for this award is Fernando Amorsolo, who was conferred the award posthumously, which means that this kind of award is given to the recipient after he has died. It includes in the list the 66 awardees from the 7 disciplinary areas, namely number 1, Architecture, Design, and Allied Arts, number 2, Film and Broadcast Arts, number 3, Visual Arts, number 4, Literature, number 5, Dance, number 6, Music, number 7, Theater. And they also consider the fashion design and historical literature. Works of national artists in public spaces. A look at UP Diliman. The iconic school symbol of University of the Philippines, UP campus in Diliman, Quezon City, is based on the Oblation 1935. It is a sculptural work by the classically trained sculptor Guillermo Tolentino, who was awarded as the National Artist of the Philippines for sculpture in 1973. The Oblation 1935 is a male nude with arms outstretched as a gesture of sacrifice and freedom. It is also cast in bronze. In George B. Vargas Museum in UP, it is where we can view Amorsolo's romantic paintings of bucolic landscapes, idealized portraits of prominent individuals from the Commonwealth period and the Second World War. And many of Tolentino's works can be seen or can be viewed in National Museum. Fernando Amorsolo and Guillermo Tolentino, they both serve as professors at the UP School of Fine Arts, and they have been influential as teachers and artists. And now let's talk about Abdul Marie Isha Imao, who was awarded in 2006 as National Artist of the Philippines for sculpture. One of the largest public sculptures he made is his calligraphic work done in 1980s at the Sculpture Garden of the Vargas Museum. Benedicto Cabrera was also awarded in 2006. He was awarded as the National Artist of the Philippines for visual arts, and he has an iconic variations of Sabel 2015 that made of aluminum sheets that can also be found at UP Theater.
So, I will continue discussing of modernist sensibilities. So, pag sinabi nating modern sensibilities, anong ibig sabihin nito? So, ayon sa akin na Google, ang ibig sabihin ng modernist sensibilities ay style of art, dance, and architecture that have developed in recent times in contrast to classical styles. So, nire-reject nila yung mga historical art traditions at ine-embrace ang experimentation. So, ang painter na si Jose Hoya na na-awarded noong 2003 as National Artist for Painting at ang sculptor na si Napoleon Abueva awarded in 1976 as National Artist for Sculpture. Produce commission works that have become part of the university's visual arts heritage. Hoya's mural in the Virata School of Business, titled Barter of Panay, 1978, is rendered in the abstract expressionist style and consists of soft, overlapping planes of black, white, orange, brown, and golden yellow. Makikita nyo sa picture, di ba? Yan yung Barter of Panay. Without rendering human forms. The solid color palette establishes links to the legend, referencing the trade between Datu Puti and King Marikudo, the former bearing gold accessories to purchase the lowlands of Panay from the latter. So, yun nga, ang Barter of Panay painting speaks of the tale of the arrival of the 10 Bornean Datu. Kasama na doon si Datu Puti and their families in the island of Panay, kina Marikudo, as they escaped the wars of their homeland. So, pumunta sila Datu Puti sa Panay kasi sa homeland nila ay may gera or war. They met with the native people and their chief Marikudo and negotiated to barter large part of the island for the new settlers. So, nakipag-barter sila ng mga gold para makuha nila yung coastal area. Doon sila titira, sila Datu Puti at sila Marikudo naman ay sa taas sa uplands. So, yun. So, dito naman tayo, kaya nga yun, ang tawag sa abstract painting ni Jose Hoya ay Barter of Panay kasi doon yung barter ni Marikudo at saka ni Datu Puti. So, sa fronting the same school, kasi 'di ba sa Virata building, yung Virata School of Business, sa harap nun yung sculpture ni Napoleon Abueva at sa lobby naman noon makikita mo yung painting ni Jose Hoya na Barter of Panay. Abueva abstract sculpture Spirit of Business seems to be drawn from science fiction, composed of metal discs with sharp-looking poles jutting through it. Abueva has produced a significant number of public sculptures for the university using material from wood to stone and metal, with ranging from figurative tableaus to abstract sculptures. So, pag sinabi nating figurative tableaus, a graphic description or representation yan siya to abstract sculptures that embody the spirit of the academic unit. Both Hoya and Abueva serve as faculty and deans of the UP College of Fine Arts and taught in UP. So, si Abueva at si Hoya ay parehong naging dean at nakapagturo sa UP, sa College of Fine Arts. Tapos, nakapag-aral din sila sa United States. Then, ang dalawa rin ay were influenced by modernist sensibilities of the period. It is also worth noting that in 1964, Abueva and Hoya represented the Philippines in the Venice Art Biennial, one of the oldest international art exhibitions worldwide. So yung Venice Art Biennial kanang founded in 1895 siya. International art exhibition featuring architecture, visual arts, cinema, dance, music, and theater that is held in the Castello district of Venice 2 years during the summer. So, pag naka-attend ka doon, ibig sabihin magaling ka talaga. So, magaling talaga si Hoya at saka si Abueva, kaya sila nakapag-represent sa Philippines doon sa Venice Art Bienal. So, yun lang. Salamat.
So, what is inauguration? Inauguration is a process of swearing a person and thus making that person incumbent. Such an inauguration commonly occurs through formal ceremony or special event. The word inauguration stems from the Latin augure, which refers to the rituals of ancient Roman priests seeking to interpret if it was the will of gods for a public official to deem worthy to assume office. Leonardo Locsin is awarded in 1990 in his architectural vision that drew inspiration in the spirit of all time. Leonardo Valencio Locsin was a Filipino architect, artist, and interior designer known for his use of concrete, floating volume, and simplistic design in his various projects, an acid collector. He was fond and modern painting in the Chinese ceramics. The church is recognized as the National Historical Landmark as well as a cultural treasure by the National Historical Institute and by the National Museum respectively. It consolidates the work of 5 national artists: Locsin for architecture, the double-sided crucifix hardwood by Abueva, the Terrazzo floor work by Arturo Luz, awarded 1997, 15 Station of Cross, which are murals painted by Vicente Mananasala, awarded 1981, Assistance of Ang Kyugok, awarded 2001. Jose Maceda was a Filipino composer of interdisciplinary works that have been approved throughout the world. He was also active as musicologist. Jose Maceda, who was eventually proclaimed the national artist music, who structured a performance in 1968, led by him, the equally avant-garde composer, musician, and ethnomusicologist. It involved 100 mixed voices, indigenous musical instruments such as bamboo, buzzers, clappers, and a whistle flute, incorporating a prayer song in Tagalog. He also founded the UP Center in Ethnomusicology, where he donated his precious collections of sound recording, field notes, and other materials on ethnomusicology in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. He received recognition from UNESCO Memory of the World.
While artists may work independently, artistic collaborations help develop projects involving elaborate production work. In this lesson, we will learn how different NAA recipients work with other artists to collaborate and integrate their arts into a single artwork. As in the case of film or theater, a spirit of collaboration must be maintained in the art world and not just working alone and earning awards. The actor, filmmaker, and producer Manuel Conde worked with Carlos V. Francisco. One of these films is Genghis Khan in 1950. It is an epic adventure of Mongolian conqueror, and because of that collaboration of the both artists, they have enriched both potential and skills. The collaboration enriched Condo's cinematic vision by Francisco's imaginative production design. That was the reason why that film screened many times abroad and translated into 16 languages. 16 languages for international distribution. And the most recent was the 2015 Venice Biennale. On the other hand, Han pop rock opera Tales of the Manuvo performed at the CCP in 1985, also benefited from the efforts of several artists. Recounting the origins of the Manobo people, the scholar, poet, teacher, and national artist for literature, Benvenido Lombera, that is awarded in 2006, wrote the libretto, while national artist for dance, Alice Reyes, that is awarded on 2014, founder of Ballet Philippines, choreographed the performance. National artist for theater, Salvador Bernal, that is awarded in 2003, took charge for the costume and set design. It reflected a confluence of genres normally perceived as belonging to different realms. Ballet and opera, on the one hand, popular music and folk culture on the other. One of the songs popularized by this production is Noong Unang Panahon. It is a melancholic reminiscence of ecological transformation, still compelling in today's context. Again, one of the songs that is popularized by this production is the Noong Unang Panahon. And we can see that the collaborations would help artists to develop each and everyone's artworks into a magnificent artwork.
So, in the narrative art world, narrative is existing literary art work, sometimes become the basis of moving images and performing arts. The combined drawings and stories, popularized by the prolific Francisco V. Coaching, awarded in 2014, in comic have inspired filmmakers to create adaptation on the big screen. Before the emergence on the so-called fantasy, it means fantasy and series, on national television in the late 90s. For example, the young superhero Pedro Penduko in Liwayway Comics, and animated into film by Gerardo de Leon, National Artist for Film, awarded in 1982. In 1954, so gi-awardan siya at atong 1954. In the same decade, the poet, novelist, and playwright National Artist for Literature Nick Joaquin, awarded in 1976. He wrote a portrait of the artist as Filipino in 1950. The story novels around a painting of the same title dedicated by a crippled artist to his two unmarried daughters, Candida and Paula. That is his two daughters. That is the daughter of Nick Joaquin. The said paintings calls the attention of characters that take interest in the work of once famous artist and who give their varied appraisals of the work set in pre-war Intramuros. The play forwards concerns about the value of art and the plight of artists and the nostalgia for peace and glory in the Manila. These were adapted for film in 1965 by Lamberto Avellana, National Artist for Film, awarded in 1976. His wife and collaborator, the actress, the director, and writer Daisy Hontiveros Avellana. National Artist for Theater, awarded in 1999. Played the lead character Candida Marasigan in Botha Film Theater. The the tradition of collaboration exemplified by these NAA recipients in a testament to how art's social role. This means that an artwork and an artist are not confined in its own world, but rather in collaboration with the artwork of other and artists accountable to the public sphere. This gives art a social dimension, one that is important to retain, especially for an award such as the NAA. The NAA is an award granted by two major cultural offices, the National Commission for Culture and the Arts and the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and it's existing through a presidential degree. That means that score NAA exists for a benefit of the Philippine arts scene. It aims not just recognize artists and their work, but to enable a national discourse surrounding the art world. That's all. Thank you.